There is a moment in every INFJ's life when the world begins to quiet down, when the chaos fades just enough for clarity to rise. It is not a sudden shift. It is gradual, like the slow bloom of a flower that only opens when it knows the light is safe. And with each passing year, INFJs begin to notice patterns, not just in others, but in themselves, in how they give, how they hurt, how they heal. These realizations are not always pleasant. In fact, many come from pain, but they are necessary. They are transformative, and they shape the INFJ into the quiet force of strength, wisdom, and authenticity they are destined to be. Here are 15 deep truths INFJs discover as they grow older. 1. Not everyone wants to be understood, and that is okay. In youth, INFJs often try to deeply understand everyone. They believe empathy can bridge any gap, but over time, they realize something sobering. Not everyone wants to be understood. Some people wear masks not out of fear, but out of choice. And that is not a failure on the INFJ's part. This truth teaches them to respect others' boundaries and to stop pouring emotional energy into those who are committed to hiding themselves. 2. Their energy is a precious resource, not an infinite gift. Younger INFJs tend to give and give, time, attention, advice, emotional labor until they burn out. But with age, they learn that their energy is sacred. It is not selfish to protect it. In fact, it is necessary for survival. They begin to choose their battles wisely, their friends carefully, and their yeses with purpose. This is when they truly begin to thrive. 3. Solitude is not loneliness. It is sanctuary. There was a time when being alone felt heavy, painful even. INFJs often longed for connection that matched their emotional depth. But as they mature, they realize that solitude is not emptiness. It is restoration. They discover joy in being alone with their thoughts, their books, their music, their dreams. They learn to make peace with their inner world. 4. They cannot heal everyone, and that is not their job. This one hurts. INFJs are natural healers, often drawn to the broken. They believe in people's potential, but as they age, they come face to face with the truth. Not everyone wants to be healed. Some cling to their wounds. Some use empathy as a weapon. And so, INFJs let go of the savior complex. They stop trying to fix others and start focusing on healing themselves. 5. Their intuition was right all along. Those gut feelings that others dismissed, those dreams, those warnings, those subtle signs INFJs picked up on. With time, they realize their intuition was never wrong. It was only silenced. Now, older and wiser, they learn to trust it without needing anyone's validation. Their inner compass becomes their most trusted guide. 6. Depth scares people. But that is not their problem. INFJs do not do small talk. They want to dive deep. They want realness, vulnerability, truth. But the older they get, the more they realize that not everyone is ready for that depth. And that is okay. INFJs stop apologizing for being too much or too intense. They stop shrinking themselves. The right people are not afraid of their depth. They are drawn to it. 7. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to peace. For the longest time, INFJs struggle with guilt when setting boundaries. Saying no feels cruel. Protecting their space feels selfish, but maturity brings clarity. Boundaries are not barriers. They are signs of self-respect. They are the structure that allows love to flow freely without resentment. INFJs learn this the hard way, but once they do, they never go back. 8. They are not responsible for other people's happiness. This realization is liberating. INFJs by nature want to make others feel safe and seen, but eventually they discover that no matter how much love they pour out, people must choose their own happiness. They learn to stop internalizing others' pain. They begin to say, "This is not mine to carry," and in doing so, they become lighter. 9. Authenticity feels better than approval. In their younger years, INFJs often shapeshift to avoid conflict or to be liked. But with age, they tire of pretending. The masks feel heavy. The silence feels suffocating. They begin to speak their truth, not to offend, but to be free. They stop seeking approval and start honoring their authenticity. And the freedom? It is life-changing. At 10, they were never meant to fit in. This is one of the hardest truths to accept. INFJs spend much of their early lives feeling like outsiders. They question what is wrong with them. But as time passes, they begin to see it clearly. They were never meant to fit in. They were meant to stand out. Their perspective is rare, their heart is unique, and their path? It was never meant to follow the crowd. 11. Silence can be the most powerful response. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. Older INFJs realize that silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. They learn to observe rather than react, to withdraw rather than explode. And in that silence, they often find peace. They protect their energy by choosing peace over being right. 12. Closure comes from within, not from others. Waiting for apologies. Waiting for explanations. INFJs often believe healing requires external closure, but as they grow, they understand that closure is an inside job. They begin to let go without hearing, "I'm sorry." They begin to forgive without permission. They choose peace, not because others deserve it, but because they do. 13. Being misunderstood is not a death sentence. INFJs spend so much time trying to explain themselves, hoping someone will finally get them. But one day they stop. They stop explaining their heart. They stop over-explaining their silence. They realize that being misunderstood does not diminish their truth. It only proves how rare their voice really is. 14. Growth often requires letting go of familiar pain. Some relationships are comfortable, not because they are healthy, but because they are familiar. INFJs often stay too long, hoping things will change. But eventually, they learn. Growth means release. They learn to walk away from what no longer serves them. They choose discomfort over stagnation. And every time they let go, they grow stronger. 15. Their sensitivity is a superpower, not a weakness. This might be the most beautiful truth of all. INFJs are sensitive, not just emotionally, but spiritually, energetically, intuitively. And for years, they are told to toughen up, get over it, or be less sensitive. But with age, they realize that their sensitivity is their gift. It is what makes them compassionate leaders, visionary creators, and loyal friends. It is not something to be fixed. It is something to be honored. And finally, INFJs may be rare, but their impact is profound. As they grow older, they shed layers of doubt and emerge as something unshakable. They become the quiet voices that lead revolutions, the calm presence in chaotic rooms, the deep thinkers who see what others miss. So if you are an INFJ listening to this and nodding along, know this: you are not alone. You are not broken. You are becoming. And with every deep truth you embrace, you step further into your purpose. If this video touched your heart, you are exactly the kind of soul we are creating this space for. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with another INFJ or deep soul who might need this reminder. Let us build a community where depth is celebrated, empathy is honored, and authenticity is our language. Comment below and let us know which of these 15 truths hit home for you the most. Until next time, stay grounded, stay true, and never forget, your inner world is your greatest gift.